Good morning. Welcome to this morning meditation on this Holy Thursday. Because of our situation, it's strange almost to come to our Easter Triduum so quickly. But as we come this morning in our prayer, we'll take a little walk with Jesus today to the Garden of Gethsemane and some of the Psalms that were said during that time. So as we begin the celebration, down on the river this morning we got a little shot of snow. It's all almost melted off the back porch here, but there is a little snow left from a beautiful snow shower this morning at about 7 o'clock. Great to have you here this morning. Danny will start us off with a song of praise. Tonight, of course, we remember the Last Supper, and we hear about this and we think about this. Our normal gospel for Holy Thursday, our gospel every year, is John's telling of the Last Supper, which has the washing of the feet, which is what we kind of remember Holy Thursday for. But there is also the trip to the Mount of Olives and the Garden of Gethsemane. And so we'll do a little meditation, we'll do a little walk with Jesus to that garden tonight, to the Garden of Gethsemane, to the Mount of Olives. And so I'm going to pick up Matthew's Gospel. Matthew's Gospel is the Gospel that we have for this year. And we read this passage amongst the big passage this past Sunday, on Palm Sunday, but we'll pick out the piece just after the institution of the Eucharist, just after Jesus gives the bread and wine as his body and blood. Then after singing a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. I'm just going to say a word about this after singing a hymn. Psalm 113 to 118, they are the Hallel Psalms, and it is thought that perhaps this was the hymn that they sang. This was a normal thing to say or to sing, those 5 psalms, for a celebratory feast like Passover. The church gives us tonight, as part of our celebration tonight, as part of our Holy Thursday celebration, we pray part of Psalm 116. And so we'll do that after we go through a little bit of this narrative. We'll go through what we have tonight for Psalm 116. But it is most likely part of what Jesus would have said then on the night before he died, which is the way we often mark tonight. Then after singing a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane. And he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took along Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee. And as we meditate on this, see him taking us. To that special place. There he began to feel sorrow and distress. Then he said to them, "My soul is sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and keep watch with me." He advanced a little and fell prostrate in prayer, saying, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." When he returned to his disciples, he found them asleep. He said to Peter, "So you could not keep watch with me for 1 hour?" Watch and pray that you may not undergo test. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Withdrawing a second time, he prayed again. My Father, if it is not possible that this cup pass without my drinking it, your will be done. Then he returned once more and found them asleep, for they could not keep their eyes open. He left them and withdrew again and prayed a third time, saying the same thing. Your will be done. Then he returned to his disciples and said to them, Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Behold, the hour is at hand. When the Son of Man is to be handed over to sinners. Get up. Let us go. Look, my betrayer is at hand. Psalm 116, at least the parts of it that we have for Mass tonight. When it's put to music, often the refrain is, I will take up the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. How shall I make a return to the Lord for all the good he has done for me? I will take up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. Precious in the eyes of the Lord is the death of his faithful ones. I will take up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. I am your servant, the son of your handmaid. You have loosened my bonds. I will take up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. To you will I offer sacrifice of thanksgiving, and I will call upon the name of the Lord. I will take up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. My vows to the Lord I will pay in the presence of all his people. I will take up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. The church gives us as our refrain for this psalm, our blessing cup is a communion with the blood of Christ. Our cup of blessing is a communion with the blood of Christ. As we enter into this day, as we will celebrate the Mass this evening, the Mass of the Lord's Supper, we have that Gethsemane moment where we see ourselves with Jesus in the garden, praying with him. And of course, it is he who encourages us, as he did with the disciples as they were sleepy that night. It is the Lord who encourages us, but we see ourselves. Our cup of blessing is a communion with the blood of Christ. So today we will live stream the Mass at 5 o'clock from outside. And if people want to come in their cars and stay in their cars and keep their windows rolled up, they can listen to it on the radio. If you are at home, you can listen to it live streamed from the Newman Center parking lot. So that's at 5 o'clock tonight. And then at noon tomorrow, we will do the same thing. We will live stream from the parking lot. And if you want to come in your car and listen to it on the radio, keeping your windows closed, you can do that. And of course, with the opportunity to drop off your collection. That's the other great thing. Then Saturday night, 7 o'clock, same situation. Sunday, 7 a.m., we'll do a little sunrise over the river. Meditation tomorrow at 9 as well. And Living Stations of the Cross at 5:30. Thank you for joining us. May this meditation bring us more deeply into this celebration of the Easter Triduum. Danny, lead us away, our guy. Thank you.
I only have one page of this. That was a problem. I got it.
I've got confidence.